60.2. I can solve for the missing side of a triangle by setting up proportions. Okay, so we're really going to be looking at kind of what we did in target B with similar triangles, and then what we just did in C1. So I want to find the missing side length. Okay, so you see I have that question mark there. I'm just going to replace it with a variable. I like working with variables more than just unknown. So we're going to put an x there. So I want to know what x is going to be. When I set up my proportion, kind of think about what we did with similar triangles. Remember, this similar triangles, the sides are in proportion. We did small over small, middle over middle, big over big. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that same thing. And I'm always going to start with my variable. So I'm going to start with kj, so x, over. And I'm going to look at in the, underline everything red, in my name, so that I can see what side it goes with. KJ goes, it's the first two letters, so P and Q. So P and Q is here, so X goes over 33. And that has to equal, right, I have to start with my same triangle here. LJ is 28. So I have J and L, or L and J. So I'm looking at P and R, which works, because there's a 42 there. Okay, so I'm just looking at that proportion, just like I did when I was doing similar triangles, right? Small over small, big over big, whatever. But I have to look a little bit more at the name. Once I do that, all I'm doing is exactly what we just did. Cross multiply. So I have 42, or x times 42, equals 33 times 28. So x times 42 is just 42x. 33 times 28. Sorry. You get 924. Again, use a calculator, kind of just to save time, but right, just type that in a calculator. And then 42 times x, I'm just going to divide by 42. Right. 42 divided by 42 is just 1x. 924 divided by 42 is 22. Alright, so once I set up that proportion, it's just what we did in the last activity. Alright, looking at my next problem. And I'm going to start with where my variable is. So x, which is ut, or tu. Alright, so it's going to go with the first two here, k and l, same place. Over 130. Equals. Then I had to start with the same triangle, right? So that's 60, which is U and B. So I have to look at the second letters, LM, which is 117. Okay, so again, using those names to help me figure out what goes where. So once I have that set up, I'm doing my cross multiplication. So I have x times 117 equals 130 times 60. So that's 117x equals 130 times 60 is 7,800. Again, use a calculator. These are big numbers. Then I need to divide by 117 on both sides. 117 divided by 117 is just 1x. 7,800 over 117, when you type that in a calculator, you get 200 over 3. Or doesn't like me. There you go, 200 over 3. And that really is it. Let's look at our next example. Okay. Same type of thing, just a little bit different because now I have an expression instead of just one variable. So, but I'm still going to start with where my variable is. So I'm going to still start with this 5x plus 11 because it has a variable in it. And that's uv here. So I need to look at US, which is 18. And then in my, starting again with my first triangle, my other number is 88. And that's VW. So I have to look at ST, which is 24. And then, again, I'm going to put parentheses around anything that has an addition sign, and then cross multiply. So I have 5x plus 11 times 24 equals 18 times 88. I'm going to distribute here. 5 times 24, again, putting in a calculator, you get 120x. 11 times 24, you get 264 equals, this got weird, that's just a multiplication symbol, 18 times 88, which is 1,584. Again, I'm solving for the variable, so I want to get rid of my addition first. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to subtract. Yeah, 100, right, these cross out. I get 120x equals, right, 1584 minus 264 is 1,320. Then, right, technically there's a multiplication symbol here, so I'm just dividing. Right, when I divide 1,320 by 120, I get x equals 11. All right, looking at our last example, starting with the variable, I have 5x minus 10. That's on the side US. Oh, it's in the second triangle here. So I want to look at FS, which is here. 24 equals, starting back at my top triangle, I have 50, which is TS. So T and S. So I'll get E and S. E and S is 15. Okay, it's very important that you're matching up your sides. If you're not, things are going to go haywire. Okay, so make sure you are matching those up. Again, parentheses around anything that has an addition or subtraction sign in it, and then cross multiply. So I have 5x minus 10 times 15. Cross multiply my means, 24 times 50. Don't forget to distribute. 5 times 15 is 75x. Negative 10 times 15 is negative 150. Equals 24 times 50 is 1,200. Again, solving, I'm going to add 150 to both sides. So 75x, because those cancel out, equals 1,200 plus 150 is 1,350. Now let's have a multiplication here, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to divide by 75. 75 divided by 75 is just 1x. 1,350 divided by 75 is 18. So x equals 18. All right, and that is it for C2. Go ahead and work on your activity.